All right, so now we're going to get to the heart of the matter here. We're gonna be using inverses to solve matrix equations. So if we have a matrix equation, AX equals B, the idea is that we multiply both sides by the inverse, the multiplicative inverse of A. And then this A inverse times A becomes just the identity matrix. And because it's the identity matrix, when we multiply the identity matrix times X, then what we have is X is equal to A inverse times B. Okay? That's the idea. There is no division with matrices, just multiplying by the inverse, which is equivalent to division. All right, so let's see how this works. So here we have a system of linear equations, and if you remember from the last lecture, we can write the system of linear equations as a matrix equation, right? We're going to write it as a matrix equation, 4, 5, 3, 4 times x, y, that's our variable matrix, and that's equal to 6, 5. And we want to solve that matrix equation. So in order to solve it, we need the inverse. And what do you know, in example 1, we actually have the inverse of 4, 5, 3, 4. So that's convenient. We know the inverse now of 4, 5, 3, 4, right? So from example 1, we can write then xy is equal to A inverse, which we verified in example 1 to be 4, negative 5, negative 3, and 4. Okay, and then we're going to multiply that times 6, 5. And that should give us our answer, right? So the first row, first column, we're going to get 24 minus 25, right, which is negative 1. And then for the second row, first column, we're going to get negative 18 plus 20. So that gives us a positive 2. So this is telling us now that x is equal to negative 1 and y is equal to 2. All right? Now we've solved that system of linear equations with an inverse matrix. Now we can always check it. We can always go back and we can check if we take these values for x and y and plug them into the original equations, we get 4 times negative 1 plus 5 times 2, and that should be equal to 6. So you can see negative 4 plus 10 is indeed 6. And we can take the second equation, plug in the x and y values that we just found, 4 times 2, and it should be equal to 5. So negative 3 plus 8 is indeed 5. So there you go. If you have the inverse of a matrix, it makes it really, really easy to solve these systems of equations. So in the next example, you should probably go ahead and try it. You should give it a try. The inverse that you need is in example 2. So I'll meet you in the next video to go through example 4.